So we just had tefillah, prayer. Now let's all do together tzedakah and a little Torah story for Shabbos. But the story is Ma'aser Rav. Is it Torah in itself? One year, December 31st, at midnight, the Rebbe is sitting with one of his secretaries, the one who was responsible for the English correspondence, Nissim Mindel. And at the stroke of midnight, apparently, the Rebbe looks up to him and tells him in English, "A Happy New Year." Rabbi Mindel nearly fell off his chair. Rebbe, what's this? And the Rebbe said, what are you surprised? This is a pasuk. Ado Shem Yisper Biksoiv Amim. God is counting, also according to the counting of the nations, which means that God is taking into consideration the calendar. So, Happy New Year. But listen to a fascinating story with Rabbi Zushe of Barditchev. Rabbi Zushe of Barditchev, who was known to be the one who was always speaking and seeing only good about the Jewish people. So it was in his shul in Barditchev, somewhere in Eastern Europe. December 31st. There's no work. At midnight, the shul is full with chassidim and learning and doing whatever chassidim do for bringing. Suddenly the Rebbe comes out from his room, looks at the chassidim, and says loud, "May you be inscribed and sealed for a wonderful year." They're shocked. It's not Rosh Hashanah, it's New Year's. And the Rebbe goes back into his room. As chassidim are contemplating and wondering what's going on over here, the Rebbe comes out again. And the Rebbe Yitzchak once again says, and goes back into his private room. The astonishment is only growing. But in no time he comes out a third time. Again, the same wishes, Leshana Tova. Chassidim are baffled. And Rabbi Yitzchak says, Kinderlach, let me explain it to you. Says this year, Rosh Hashanah in Barditchev was amazing. The prayers, the sincerity, the devotion was exceptional. And God was ready on this Rosh Hashanah to sign and seal for a good year. But as soon as God was ready to do it, Satan came around and he said, God, they did the same thing last year. You got very excited about it, but you remember what happened during the year? They quickly forgot their commitment. Wait a moment. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay. Valid argument, unfortunately. Yom Kippur came around. The fasting. Everybody looked like an angel. And God wants to seal. And Satan comes again. It was one day. Their honesty is one day. Let's see what's going to happen during the weekdays. Weekdays come around, and what's happening right after Yom Kippur? Everyone is busy with building a sukkah. Even the poor man is finding a few pieces of wood and klap zusammen, as they say, and putting together a sukkah. And this is amazing. God says, look how my kinderlach are behaving. They're all so involved in building a sukkah, finding a lulav and esrog. And Satan says, yeah, what are they building for you? Look at the homes they built for themselves, and look at what they're building for you. A little chatke, a little nothing, and you get excited about it, says to God. Once again, the sealing is being postponed. Shmini Atzeres, Simchas Torah, the dancing. They're having a good time. They said L'chaim. Obviously they're dancing. Good, they behave, but they don't deserve it. And like this, every time the Eibishter wants a sign, Satan comes around and finds and objects. Now, 31st of December, the good angel went around to God and says, God, could you have a look at what's happening in the world? The world is celebrating New Year. What are they doing? Drinking, shikurim, eating, immoral behavior. Yeah. How did your kinderlach celebrate Rosh Hashanah? Prayer, love your fellow Jew, guest in the house and helping each other. Satan couldn't object. And God signed. So he says, Kinderlach, Leshana Tova, Tikosevo, V'sechosemo. And we ask, Leshana Tova, Tikosevo, V'sechosemo, the closing signature on the exile and the beginning of the wonderful Shabbos, the Shabbos with Moshiach in the Beis HaMikdash. Good Shabbos.